Hi, my name's Nancy Kiley. I'm 63 years old. I live in Tucson, Arizona. I'm the manager for a very high-end real estate company. And along with two other managers, we have almost 200 agents in my office. I do a lot of meetings, conferences, interviews of new agents. I meet with the public a lot if we've got conflicts or problems with our sales or listings. So I'm in the public eye a lot. I never watch infomercials. For some reason, my husband must have left a particular channel on, and I saw one for Wen. It talked about Angie Harmon, whom I think is great, and so does my husband, on Rizzoli and Isles, and how it helped her hair become more shiny, silky, manageable, and I never try anything new. I have worn my hair the same way, a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, for probably the past 40 years. The color's been the same, a little harder to maintain the older I get with the white coming in, but people joke and say, I don't even know you got your hair cut. I can't even tell you've gotten it done. Well, until I tried using Wen. So I ordered it in November, and it was a sample. It came with a couple different fragrances, and initially I thought it was great. My hair was smoother, it was shiny. I didn't have any of the flyaways that I typically get when it starts getting humid in Tucson, and I loved it. Then I got a rash on the back probably after using it 2 or 3 weeks, and it's a pretty severe rash, so I called and canceled the autofill because I didn't want to have any more products sent to me. But I'm so darn frugal that I thought, well, okay, I'll try the other fragrance that they sent, which I did use and which seemed to work okay. I started noticing probably a month or month and a half in that a lot of big clumps of my hair were coming out, long clumps, and I didn't think anything of it because I've always had fine hair, but a lot of hair. And then I started realizing that my hair was really, really getting thin and that there was a problem. And I got scared. I'm adopted. I don't have any history of any family. I thought maybe I had cancer, a brain tumor, something wrong with my thyroid. I didn't know. So my hairdresser said, you know, it's probably is thyroid, or maybe it's menopause. So I went to see my doctor. I was tested, and there's nothing wrong with my thyroid. I'm healthy. She said it was just some sort of aging thing, probably, and wanted to put me on a very expensive pill that I took all the time, and I just couldn't afford to do it. So I started with Rogaine, and then what my hairdresser told me to use, which was Cetaphil, a shampoo and conditioner for extremely thinning hair. I started using that. More hair continued to fall out, and I became very self-conscious. I've never thought much about my hair. It's always looked great. It's been easy to take care of. Now I felt like everyone I met, I had to explain, you know, I used to have good hair. I used to have hair where you couldn't see through it. We're in Arizona. The sunshine comes through all the time. You could see right through the ends of my hair. I did everything I could with hairspray, ratting it, we used to call it, trying to give it some body. Trying to cover the spots in the back, especially that you could see my scalp through. This was the holidays, and at that time, I canceled everything. I didn't want to be social with anyone. The only thing I went to was a company party, which I had to go to. And again, I felt like I had no control over the way I looked. I started eating, I gained weight. I became almost a hermit, except for going to work and then coming home and anything I absolutely had to do. After a couple months, probably February, I think, I noticed that my hair was starting to come back in. I stopped using the Wen product because I was using all these other shampoos, but at the same time I heard that there was some sort of lawsuit and that there was a problem with Wen and that it might cause this on some people. So after it started growing back in, I was thrilled, and it made total sense to me. I stopped using it, my hair started growing back in. But then, along with being thrilled, I had even more problems. My hair started, you know, like a buzz on the top of my head. And then it got, you know, as it got longer, it was sticking up and it was all frizzy and white, sort of curly hairs, and I looked stupid. And during this time, my hairdresser couldn't color my hair. My hair was so damaged, and he was so concerned about it. So not only did I have semi bald spots, places that you could see my scalp, but I had white hair now instead of blonde. And again, my business is interacting with the public a lot, and I felt like I just looked like a freak. At this time, my hairdresser said, why don't you use a Brazilian blowout? That'll take care of the hairs that were about this long on top of my head and sticking up. And so I did that. I've never spent any kind of money like that on my hair. It was over $400 and made my hair look totally flat and, again, horrible. It did take care of the flyaway problem, but it certainly wasn't the hair that I was used to. This was probably in June. We were going on a cruise in July. I told my husband I don't want any pictures taken of me. I don't. And he didn't. He put up with me crying and not sleeping and being scared to death about something wrong with me, and so of course he honored that request. So now my hair is about 4 inches long, and it's easier to blend into my head. My hairdresser was able to highlight and lowlight my hair, so I feel like I'm finally getting back to a color that I was used to, and I just wish I never used Wen in my life. It's one of the stupidest decisions I ever made. Shame on you, Wen, for continuing to keep this product out there when you know what it does to people and you know how it totally destroys their lives.